for another episode of Life Cycle. What I will say, what I will talk about today, it's something that I did in the previous episode a few episodes ago in Greek. And I was talking about the first 70 years of a person's life and how important they are in our life. Not only the importance it has, but the consequences that we face in the rest of our lives, depending on what we experience, what behaviors we experienced, and all the things that we received until the age of 7 years old. So that's our theme for today. Now, I'm going to start with mathematics for all of you, just so you can understand how important are those years for our lives. So, did you know that when we are, from the moment that we are being conceived into our mother's womb until the age of 7, that we are constantly on a state, we transmit at 8 hertz on a constant state, 24/7. So when we have a child that is about like any age from the moment of conception, not just newly born, until the age of 7, these children, these babies and infants, babies, children, they are on a constant state at which they transmit at the frequency of 8 hertz. What does that mean? It means that they are able to receive, to adopt, to consume, to comprehend, to receive, right? Absorb 2 million digits per second. 2 million digits per second. If you can grasp this number. That's why I said I'm going to start with maths, because this is a crazy, an unbelievable number to conceive logically, right? I remember our teachers used to say to us, at the age of 7, 8, I remember, that you can learn anything right now because you absorb everything like a sponge, the way a sponge absorbs water, right? And they were right. Because at that age, you can absorb 2 million digits per second. It's unbelievable. And I will give you another number as well, just for comparison's sake. When we are adults, like for example me now, the maximum number of digits I can absorb per second, do you know what it is? 40. 40. That's it. And that's at my best. I can absorb that amount of, that number of digits at my best. Because if I'm not at my best, it might be lower. So you can see the huge gap, 2 million digits per second and 40 at the best per second, right? That's why those 7 years, and not just the 7 years, but even the 9 months when we are as babies in our mother's belly, right? They're very, very important, because everything we are exposed to, it gets inside us and it's being recorded. If I speak in a computer's language, they're being recorded in our hard disk. They're being our fundamental base for everything else we will do for the rest of our lives. Everything we will try to achieve in our lives, everything we will try to make in our lives later on when we'll be adults, it will be on that base that we created those first 9 months and 7 years. And the truth is that we keep seeing examples every single day with people that they had traumatic and problematic experiences of those years, and how they turned out to be these people in their adulthood. And I'm going to give you an example right now what I mean with something that is very, 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 at the moment, it's like the thing that everybody's talking about on a world, on a global scale, right? I'm talking about the interview that Meghan and Harry gave the other day, a few days ago, to Oprah. Oh, yeah. I don't know where I could start with this too, because I'm not gonna talk about them or refer to them as as royal figures, prior royal figures, because I wouldn't want to step into those fields, right? But I did a little research about them both from the very, very young age of their lives. I mean, Harry is not difficult to find, things about him, because he was a prince and his life has been exposed, and everybody knows what he has been through and the problematic childhood upbringing he had. Although he was a prince, his childhood was really he agrees. His childhood was very problematic and traumatic as well, at the very young age of 13, losing his mother. He felt rejection in his early childhood years when his parents were leading both the way. They were having different partners, romantic partners, that although his parents were not divorced, Harry received it as rejection. And look what the way he's behaving now as an adult. Like the last interview he had with his wife, Meghan, they literally set the Buckingham Palace on fire. Harry, though, it's a very, very good example of a person, of a child that felt rejection in his early childhood years. And although you would assume like he was a prince, he was raised inside incredible wealth. And yet, look at him. When you look at him, you see a person that is not happy, is unhappy. He has like, although he found apparently happiness with his wife, Meghan Markle, you can tell that that person is searching for satisfaction, is searching for happiness, is searching for that something that he doesn't even know what it is most of the time. Of course, I used Harry now as an example because he's a public figure, and it will help you understand the importance of what I'm trying to say to you. So rejection, which, as I said earlier, rejection could be conceived to a child, not just the divorce of his or her parents, but having different partners. When children understand that, they conceive it as rejection. It's very important. And that's why I said earlier that we should know why we have children, why we get married. Like, people get married and get divorced so easily, and most of the times they don't even know why they get married, and they have children on top of that, and then those children suffer they suffer the consequences of their parents' mistakes. I know what I'm telling you. It's a very touchy subject, because you can tell me, okay, but I want to get married, have kids, and if I divorce, so what? Be it. It's not so simple, because especially if you decide to bring children in this life, you really have to be careful and mindful of your children first. And now let me tell you some of the some more of the health issues you might have as an adult if at those 7 years of your life you were absorbing bad situations, you were experiencing bad situations. Okay, I referred to the imbalanced thyroid glands before. Another problem that usually people that belong in this category, then the first 7 years of their lives, they faced rejection or abuse. They cannot control their weight. They cannot control their weight no matter what. They try, they fight, they do this, they do that, they go to the gym, they try to have healthy nutrition, but it doesn't work. Because if you go back to their past, to the first 7 years, that's where everything's hidden. I think I've mentioned that before, but the Franciscan monks were saying, give me a child until it's 7 years old, and I'm going to give you the man that's going to be for the rest of his life. I think they knew, they had a lot of wisdom in order to say that. Wisdom that nowadays people do not seem to know. And because you know me, I'm a very optimistic person, and I always tell you things. I refer to subjects that they're difficult, they're touchy, but I'm always on the positive side, and I'm always thinking that the best can happen. So even if you are one of these children that when you were at this very fragile age, you were exposed to damage, okay? There's always cure, there's always therapy. Like one that comes to my mind right now is the theta deep sleep. Theta is the therapeutic sleep that you can get into, and then when you are at that state, because when you go into the theta therapeutic deep sleep, you're being put in a frequency of the 8 hertz. So we can go in that theta deep sleep and erase everything bad that has happened to us from our past, and then put new information, new good stuff, good knowledge, things that we want for our present, our future, joyful things, beautiful things, things that make us feel happy. So that's one of the ways to recreate our life, our erase our bad writings and create new ones. I'm making these videos in order to give information for the young people that want to become parents, that want to raise children. And this information is vital for them, because you should know why you want to have children. And I mean, I don't want to repeat what I said earlier, but yeah, it's a good thing to know why you do what you do. I do hope you liked this episode. I do hope you enjoyed it and you learned something new that will be useful to your life. Until next time, I send you all my love and all my kisses.